Well, let's jump and talk about UFOs, man. We got this story from Timcast.com. White House press secretary addresses concerns about UFOs, says there is no indication of aliens, but she didn't say it wasn't aliens, which means it could be. We all keep our fingers crossed, or not, because every movie we've ever watched about aliens typically ends very poorly for humans, or I should say ends up in war. I mean, maybe we win or something.
It's not Independence Day. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be Mars attacks.
Very concerned if interstellar traveling beings showed up here and wanted to fight.
Yeah, that would be.
But why though? Why would that be?
If they wanted to fight?
Yeah.
I don't think that we have the technology to withstand.
Yeah, right. We just get wiped out.
Yeah.
But
I would like to live.
Yeah.
Oh no, right. I thought you were saying you'd be surprised if they did want to fight.
No. I wouldn't be. I don't think. Did I say surprised? I think I'd be scared.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Corinne Jean-Pierre says there is no indication the UFOs that have entered American airspace are aliens. I know there have been questions and concerns about this, but there is no indication of aliens or extraterrestrial activity with these recent takedowns. I wanted to make sure that the American people knew that. All of you knew that. And it was important for us to say that from here because we've been hearing a lot about it. I love E.T. the movie, but I'm just going to leave it there. So apparently they shot down 3 objects. They don't know what they are, and they don't know how they fly. And the F-22 pilot said there was no visible propulsion system on these objects, which I'm like, I hate to break the news to everybody who's hoping it's aliens. It could just be like a quad, like a drone, but it's got small jets or something. Like, there's a million ways to explain how this thing's flying that's not anti-gravity or aliens, you know what I mean?
I don't expect it to be any kind of extraterrestrials. I am extremely interested to find out what it is because I imagine that if the government was, if it was like American, I imagine the government wouldn't want to shoot it down. So that right there, perks my interest about the topic.
Well, I like that Paul Gosar responds with his own, the real alien invasion is the 6 million illegal aliens crossing the border, and the government won't talk about that.
Yeah.
I feel like she answered this question because she doesn't want to talk about Ohio. She doesn't want to talk about a lot of stuff. And so she'll give out this funny, I like the movie E.T. too, just to sort of act like she's one of the people. I mean, Pizzacchi was at least somewhat on good terms. I mean, people didn't like her, but she had a rapport with the journalists in the room. I don't think that Jean-Pierre has the same sort of charisma that her predecessor did.
Look, when you had, under Trump, you had, say, Kayleigh McEnany. She opens the book and pulls up the news article and then refutes the lies from the press.
Yeah.
When you get the Democrats in, they don't have any sources or information. They just lie to you in very obvious ways.
Yeah, trust me, bro.
McEnany
So maybe
was great.
But what I'm saying here is, this proves it's aliens.
I kind of wish. Not really.
They're coming down. They're like, you guys are having a hard time. We are just
This is the other
checking in.
issue, right? Just from a policy standpoint, if extraterrestrial beings showed up here, we don't know if they're aggressive, and then you just kill them.
Yeah,
that's why
I don't know. And we don't know if there's more of them.
That's the plot to
see what they want first.
Also,
that's the plot to Independence Day 2.
Yeah.
The big sphere shows up and they're like, shoot it, and it turns out to be the alien trying to save them from the other aliens. But
Also, what if they send more? You blow that one up and they're like mad about it.
2 sets of aliens.
Part 2.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, in part 2, a giant sphere appears and they're like, shoot it, and they blast it. Then it turns out that sphere was actually good aliens.
I didn't even know there was an Independence Day 2.
Yeah, it was not that good.
We make sequels to everything.
The reason nobody wanted to watch it was because
Will Smith wasn't in it?
No, Mae Whitman wasn't in it.
Oh, okay.
She played the daughter of Bill Pullman, but they recast some other woman and everyone got mad. Because she's the right age to play the character.
Sure.
And for some reason they were like, nah, we don't want Mae Whitman. But she's like, Mae Whitman was she's in a bunch of stuff. She's Katara in Avatar, so she has a lot of fans.
Right.
I'm kidding, by the way.
Okay.
That's not why nobody saw it. I'm sure the movie made a lot of money, but like people who are fans were just like, "What are you doing? This is
dude." There's one guy who saw this movie and knows everything about it, and he's like so stoked. He just said that.
Yes.
He's like,
there's someone who's a big fan of Avatar,
knows.
and they're all like, Tim's exactly right about this. They should not have
100%.
recast Mae Whitman.
100%.
Yep, you see, that proves it.
All right, so Independence Day 2. What's the over-under on this? Worst case, best. Could be Russian, could be Chinese.
We just got breaking news earlier that China is flying warplanes into Taiwanese airspace. Mm-hmm. So, The over/under on this is they do this. It's not like a new thing. It's they're just pushing and pushing and pushing. It could be that China is increasing their surveillance tech and capabilities because they're getting ready for a full-scale military conflict. So it's like, why don't we've not seen these weird vessels, these UFOs before? They're deploying them now, basically as you ever play Warcraft? What you ever play Warcraft? What was it, the Eye of Kilrog? Was that what it was? You guys in the chat can help me out with this one. So it's you know what it is, the game. You build a little base and then the other base. You can send a floating eye to go look around and see what your enemy's doing before you attack. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Simple a recce. They're sending out the gear. We don't know what it is. Spying on us, stealing our data and information, maybe even injecting viruses into our facilities, because then, you know what I think's going to happen? I got to be honest. If war breaks out, everyone expects, nuclear missiles to like launch out of the ground and fly through the air. I bet what happens is as soon as a country declares war, every other country hits the go button on their viruses they've installed in all the deep infrastructure for all the other countries. Everyone's power just goes out instantly. Something like that. Factories all shut down. Nuclear plants blow up.
Well, I mean, if
Jesus, that's so positive, though.
I mean, it's actually
that's probably what's going to happen.
It's better than nuclear fire, I imagine.
Well, so do you know about Stuxnet?
No.
U.S. and Israel worked on a cyber weapon that basically infected every computer, hoping that it would eventually make its way to Iranian nuclear centrifuges and cause them to spin out of control and blow up. Oh. So if we know that happened, I'm willing to bet China's got viruses in U.S. systems we don't know about. We got viruses in their systems, Russia, etc.
It's TikTok.
It's that Spider-Man meme.
Every TikTok account is going to spread to every computer, and then your phone's going to kill you.
Look,
hello?
Anybody that has a Cisco router,
they might be able to blow your phone up remotely.
Yeah,
possibly.
Cause like an energy drain or something, cause it to overheat. Who knows?
I don't know. Well, I hope not.
Those lithium-ion batteries, man, they get exposed to oxygen, they go up.
Yeah.
That's why. Remember when all those phones were blown up?
And like
The Galaxy
suitcases
Note?
with charging things, they banned them from planes.
Yeah.
Because of that, yeah.
Yeah, because those lithium-ion batteries, man, it's expose that to air, rapid oxidization, and
I never
fire.
understood what you did. Like if you had the Samsung phone, you weren't allowed to take on plane. If you get to your gate, you just like turn it over and they mail it to you?
I don't know. There was somebody who named their iPhone Wi-Fi Galaxy Note 5 or whatever, and then turned it on. I guess as a joke. Then when people saw the Wi-Fi with the name, they shut the plane down and they're like, "Nope, we're not flying until we get this plane off. Or we get that phone off the plane." Crazy, right? It's a crazy world we live in.
It's such a great joke. I love it.
No, I think war maybe.
I
What
think
kind
that
of war, Tim?
A world war.
I think that if China is likely to make a move, I think that now is a time where they would be likely to do it because the U.S. is not in a position. Like China has said to the U.S. the first time that Blinken met with his Chinese whatever the equivalent.
Real quick. Just this is breaking news. In the past about 15 minutes, there's an active shooter at MSU near Berkeley Hall, Michigan State University. Police have asked students to secure in place immediately following shots being fired. Police are active on the scene. So if that affects any of you, just wanted to make sure I noted that because we're getting people in the chat mentioning. Anyway, sorry to interrupt, man. I thought that was be important if anybody was nearby and needed to hear that.
Well, that is important. If you're at the, I'm looking at it now.
Michigan
State University.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Get
But you don't have. If you're there, World War III is not your immediate concern.
Yeah.
For the rest of us,
Yes,
the
for the
toxic
rest of us.
chemical spill comes first.
Yeah.
And then wokeness, I guess, because that's the order we told these stories in.
And then World War III.
The situation with China is fairly ongoing. The tensions have been high over Taiwan for a while now. So
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe this is it.
Yeah.
Maybe like they know that we're trapped in Ukraine, and if they're gonna move, they got to move now.
like I said earlier, they had told Blinken that the U.S. is not. They do not believe the U.S. is negotiating from a position of strength, and this is the way that China behaves when they don't believe that the U.S. is in a position of strength. They are going to push. They're going to prod, and they're going to see if it makes sense for them to take Taiwan because they intend to take Taiwan back. This is not an option to them. It's just a matter of when. So,
Yeah.
I think China is such an interesting adversary. I wrote the story today about how the U.S. Issued a don't travel, and if you're in Russia, come home immediately alert, but also said we can't guarantee that we're able to offer you transport home. So figure it out immediately and also get back. But the Kremlin's response was like, meh, they've issued these alerts before. I mean, the U.S. says this kind of thing. I can't imagine what the conversation China is having with its own people about the way we react to the balloons. You know, like we didn't shoot one down. I can't imagine that China would not have taken this kind of action if someone else floated a balloon across their country. It seems like, I think we were on with Jack Posobiec, who said they're doing this to see how we react. And I personally, and I think the senators from Montana agree with me, I think we reacted too slowly. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but one of the federal officials from Montana said, we took care of the balloon a continent too late. We knew about it before it reached U.S. airspace. We saw it coming and we didn't do anything. And that's a pretty powerful message, not only to send to your people, but to your adversaries, right? We couldn't get it together.
This is funny. Vice has an article that says the conspiracy verse thinks fake UFOs are a distraction from a disastrous train derailment. Accidental environmental activism from a surprising source. It just goes to show that these people really do not understand anything about the people they insult and smear every day. You know, like the government lied about the quality of air on 9/11. They're probably lying now about what's going on in Ohio. Like, but you're a conspiracy theorist. You shouldn't care about the environment. It's like, okay, you're lost in the cult.
Yeah.
You live in a weird world, man.
I know tons of very intense conservatives who really believe in protecting the environment, right? It's our big, great research. I think the left has this idea.
Everyone who lives on the planet should care about the environment when it comes to like oil spills and nuclear explosions,
chemical
or China's
burns.
Massive plastic fucking island in the ocean from their fishing nets.
You're right, but in addition to that, like to Hannah's point, hunters and outdoorsmen tend to be conservative, and those people and hunting organizations, the NRA and stuff like that, they do a lot of work to keep natural resources in conditions so that way, hunters can go out and hunt still. The preservation of natural resources is something that is extremely close to, naturalists and hunters and sportsmen and stuff like that. Fishermen, and they do a lot of really good work, not just, chaining themselves to trees or trying to get in the way of developing land.
Hunting and fishing your own food is probably the most green thing you can do. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you've seen Piers Morgan ripping apart people, like, talking about how much actual destruction is caused to bees and voles and animals who, and all the wasted gas on flying avocados and almonds all over the planet.
And the plastic and the shipping materials.
And the amount of biodiversity that has to be destroyed in order to live a vegan lifestyle. And it doesn't equate to them, right? Because they see the PETA videos and the factory farming, which is not right either, right? If I go to a butcher that is like a farmer's butcher, you know what I mean, and I just actually started switching to deer meat from cows, because it's better for you, and the animals live in the wild and they're not stressed out.
They believe. I think so many people believe in the stereotypes that definitely left-leaning culture has created, right? If you're a hunter, especially if you hunt for your own food, you need to have a relationship with the land. You can't overhunt, and all you hear is, "But we hunted the buffalo to almost extinction." Buffalo population.
We didn't hunt the buffalo to almost extinction.
It's
the
not
Europeans who were fighting that was a war tactic that the Europeans who were fighting with the Native Americans killed their food source in order to starve them out.
But what they're saying is these people who are just so out of control, they just like killing things for fun. Like it's a complete misrepresentation of what having a relationship with land, especially if it's to feed your family, is like. I think they believe these stereotypes and can't consider that other people also believe in protecting the earth.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.